When I was 15, I was at youth camp in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, when I realized my need for salvation. The sermon that night was preached on, the title was I Gave It All, and it was just kind of about, how Jesus gave it all for us, and I realized that I needed to be saved. Everything was good for a few years, and at 19, my parents split up, and I went down a pretty rough road. And I knew that I wanted to get back to church and get back to the Lord and, center my life around Him. And at the time, our marriage was pretty rocky, and we weren't really sure what our next steps were.
So I got saved when I was 14 at a youth camp in Georgia, and I couldn't tell you I don't remember the preacher's name, but I do remember that the whole sermon was about faith. And his example was to pull me in front of 1,000 other kids and tell me to sit in a chair. And when I sat in the chair, he asked me how much faith it took for me to sit in that chair without second guessing it. And that hit home and made me reevaluate where I stood with God. And at 16, my parents separated, and I started getting away from church. Hurt my knee in football and ended up going down a hard road of addiction to pills, and then spent most of my young adult life battling with drugs and alcohol, and even continuing into our marriage. I was asked to come here by my cousin who found help at this church.
I really was struggling with assurance of my salvation, and during that I got that assurance, and Jesus showed me that I was saved and that I had nothing to worry about, and that he helped me forgive things that I need to forgive, and know that I can go through each day knowing that when I die I will go to heaven.
My hearing from God experience was very intense, but at the same time very relieving. It removed a lot of doubts and assured me of where I needed to be in life and how I needed to use God to guide myself, and how to be the head of my home and raise our family and point them in the right direction and let God lead our home. I have been able to walk away from drugs, walk away from the alcohol, and we have pretty much saved our marriage.
God has completely turned around our marriage, our lives. Everything has changed, and it's all because of Him.
We have put both feet into this. To church, God, faith is, even with the tithing, since the message was preached about tithing, we have done it and held to it strictly, and it has blessed us. We have invested our times and our heart and our minds into the small groups, and it's really changed our outlook on life, how we run our home, how we raise our son, and how we treat and respect each other.
The biggest thing that I can tell you from all of this is just trust Him 100%. Give it all to Him. Let Him lead your marriage. Let Him lead you as an individual. Just 100% trust Him in everything that's happening in your life.
The one thing that you fear most is the one thing that you need to do first.